Hello, I finally got round to filming the Dancing on Ice live tour show video. I finally set aside time for it. So I'm going to start off with the fact of booking it. I booked to see the show at the weekend. I can't remember if it was Saturday the 31st or Sunday the 1st, but yeah, I'd forgotten about it, to be honest. I had continually seen the advertising on television and been like, oh, I think it'll be quite nice to go and see it in Manchester. If I can get a quite good seat or whatever. But I just didn't actually do it until then. I saw that Ray Quinn was only doing the Tuesday night, so my preference would obviously have been to go on the Tuesday night. And I did spot a seat right at the bottom of the lower tier and thought, oh, that's pretty good. That's like front row. But then, of course, I just couldn't resist checking up on the Wednesday night show to see if there was a front row seat, because I noticed it wasn't quite ringside, the bottom of the lower tier. And wouldn't you have it, yes, there was one seat in the middle of the B section on the floor, in the middle of that row, on the front row, just there. And there was some even across the way in another section, like quite a long row of seats, free, and I just couldn't resist. I thought, yeah, that seems a pretty good spot, so I booked it, even though it was like, let's have a look now. This is the ticket direct. I had to print it out because it was so close to the show, and with all that's been happening in the arena, they've got some temporary box office. I don't quite know where it is. I thought the last thing I need if I'm going to be showing up for this event after work on a Wednesday night is, and quite last minute if I'm on public transport, panicking about where I'm going, where I'm getting my ticket. So I'll just print it out. And the face value of the ticket was £66.20. And then there was more added onto that because I paid, the booking fee was ridiculous. And then I paid for missed event insurance, which I never have done before in my life, I'll admit. However, I thought if I'm spending this much money and it's worrying if I might not get there on time, the last thing I need is to be losing out on about £80. So I bought that as well. Anyway, yes, I thought, yes, I shall have to go. So it was all booked, and then it was like, what am I going to wear? Because the truth is I don't have that many clothes at my nana's at the minute, and I wanted to wear something nice because you know what I'm like for dressing up. So this is basically what I wore. It was just a little lime green sparkly cardigan, and this was the dress. This was a dress I obviously bought with hot ice in mind because of it being green, mint green lace, and then just like that, and the same kind of lacy detail at the bottom. So it was a mint green dress, and I thought, yeah, that'll do, along with the silver jewellery I'm wearing all the time these days, like these earrings. You can see me wearing them all the time. And then the next thing was, what am I going to wear on my feet? I had sparkly pumps, but they seemed too casual. I had the beigey kind of heeled trainer things I wore in Blackpool. They seemed too casual. I have really, really nice shoes that I bought for shows, but it was like nothing in the middle, kind of sensible, but still nice. In the end, I went with the shoes I came to my nana's in, which were cowgirl boots. Yeah. Actual cowgirl boots. It's funny how many compliments I've had on those, actually, whenever I've been wearing them. And I just comforted myself with the thought that, hey, I'm going really to support Alex Murphy, and she's American, and I think they've done a timber routine. I didn't know they do the timber routine on tour, which incidentally they did. But yeah, so that's how I comforted myself. Anyway, it was a bit of a stressful journey because it was after work. But thankfully, my Uncle Trevor had been back from Australia one day, and thankfully he agreed to pick me up from work and bring me back to get ready at my nana's, and then to take me, even though I was quite worried because I wanted to leave a lot earlier. And my plan was to just sort of get ready after work and then go straight to the arena, but my uncle was like, well, it's on the way to go to the arena anyway. So I did that, and I ended up leaving more like 5 to 7. So it was a bit worrying, the fact that it had gone so long. So anyway, I arrived there at the arena. We got stuck in traffic last minute, so I was really panicking. I was gonna miss it at this point. Anyway, so we got to the arena vicinity. I think my uncle dropped me off by some steps at about 7:20, just gone. I was worried. I was going to go up the steps. The security guy said, one of the guys said, go through security, please. So thankfully I did, and it was all quick. They just had a quick look, and I hadn't taken this tablet because I was told, I'd read up on the list of the arena what you can and can't take. You couldn't take tablets, unfortunately, so that made no pictures and filming for me, which was sad. With having such a good seat, but never mind. So I got in very quickly. Then I saw the program stand because I was worried about not getting my program. My Uncle Trevor is so good at calming me down though. He's like, oh, you'll just be missing the guy warming the crowd up saying, hey, everybody cheer. I didn't even miss him in the end. This woman was buying programs in front of me, and I heard her say £20, and then she walked off, and I'm all panicking. I've only got a tenner in cash, and I was like, oh no, were they £20? She said, no, 10. That woman bought 2, so phew. So I got the program, thankfully, and then I just went to, and this lady selling programs was so lovely and nice. She said, I'm going to be in for a great night. It's really good. And she directed me to the kind of place where I'd need to get for floor seats. I asked her where to go. So I went down, and then I entered the arena, and just to see the set, it looked amazing with all the luminous blue and lilac lighting, and I did get quite excited then. The stress left me of the journey and just the calmness of just being there. And then I'll admit, I'm not proud of this, but I'll admit I was a bit like, well, I'm on the floor, I've got a front row seat. So walking down all the steps, and then I kept saying like this, she's like, oh, where do I go to get to this seat, and showing them my ticket, even though I knew full well, and that was a bit naughty, but anyway. So I finally get to my front row seat, and everybody who sat around me is obviously just the usual, you know, tops and jeans that people wear. And I was thinking, oh, here's me, the fangirl, looking a bit different, feeling a bit different, and obviously going to act a bit different. I hope I don't cause too much annoyance. Anyway, I got to my seat, I was loving it, and I was feeling very excited. And it turned out that nobody actually came and sat in the seat to my left, so I had a bit more space, which was good, because I had obviously my coat and umbrella and things. I did have a quick perusal through the program, but I admit, usually I get a program and I devour it to like read everything. But I was just thinking, no, where's the bit on Alex Murphy? So I skipped straight to the Alex Murphy page and was reading about it, and about her, and the hard work paid off, and the gorgeous 29-year-old American developed an amazing chemistry with her skating partner, which took them all the way to the semi-final. Quite a debut. Yeah, I'm so pleased with how they did in the show. But I was there, and I was thinking, I don't care how this comes across. I am an unequivocal, for this skating night, Alex Murphy fangirl. I've seen her in Hot Eyes. I've seen her skate before. I think she's the most lovely, warm personality in real life, and I'm here for her, basically. If she hadn't been in it, there's no way I would have spent this money and I would have gone to this tour. So it was basically all her. And I was thinking, oh, will they get away with whooping? But the guy trying to whip up the crowd, which didn't go all that well, because most people just seem to be like middle-aged, just want to see some nice skating, and weren't really up for the cheering. Anyway, I thought, yeah, I'm here for Alex M, don't care. I was waiting for their routine, and I had decided to myself already, especially when the man there to G up the crowd said, cheer Manchester, shout things out, XYZ. I thought, right, I am going to, and I'm going to show my support for Alex M. And I was thinking, oh, what was I going to shout? Something like, go Alex, or you're the best Alex. And then I thought, no, you're the best Alex sounds a bit mean, especially when most people are there to support Kem, her partner, because he's the celebrity, not the pro. So in my mind, I just thought, right, I'm going to shout, you rock Alex. And in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, will I have the guts? Because I've never shouted out at a Hot Eye, so I would never do that. I would never shout out words, like whooping loud, and we all know it's very loud. But I wouldn't feel like shouting out, but I decided that I would try to. Anyway, the guy told us about using the back of the program, holding a 10 to hold a 10 up, if you wanted to do that for some of them. And then I immediately did a practice run, held it above my head, and I could hear all the whispering behind me as if like, no, put it down. So I decided I just have to hold it under my chin. Anyway, So seeing everyone come out and skating felt pretty normal, even though I was so close. It was like, well, they're just normal people, aren't they? So I don't know whether it was because I was quite tired as well. It was just quite normal to see them because they look exactly like on TV, obviously. The ice was bigger, the stage was phenomenal. I saw the 3 chairs for the judges, and something in my mind, I obviously was a bit tired. I thought, oh, they're just going to have the normal judges, Jane, Chris, Ashley, and got Jason. But no, it was Jane and Chris, Torval and Dean, and Denise Van Outen. And as soon as I heard her name announced and saw her come out, I thought, well, that's good. But the first thing I thought was Lee Mead, because she had a relationship with him. I can't remember if they got married. The guy off Any Dream Will Do, the BBC One programme. That's what I most know her for, rather than any of the work she's done. But I think she's a really nice person. She came across well as a judge on that show. So I was excited that she was going to be at the show. Anyway, when Kem and Alex finally did come on for their routine, the first one, I know there's all cheering and everything, and then there was that silence, and I did it. I went for it. I shouted, "You rock, Alex!" And I didn't care. I didn't care what anyone thought. Obviously, I was kind of wondering, I wonder if she'll see me, I wonder if she'll recognize me or anything, like, or at the end, will they come and do handshakes and things? I had seen somebody comment on social media that, oh, I got to shake the hands of all these pros, and I thought, oh, maybe they come and do that, like at the end of Hot Ice. And obviously I did wonder a little bit, oh, imagine if I got another hug or something, that would be amazing. But I just thought, no, just calm down. And then I did slightly have a little bit of worry, as like, I'm obviously so Alex Murphy biased here in this audience. Am I going to come across like a lesbian fan? Which obviously I'm not. But then I thought, I won't worry about coming across as a lesbian fan because I'm not a lesbian. I know I'm not. And Alex Murphy obviously knows I'm not, because she knows my history from Hot Ice. So I'm not going to worry about that. It doesn't matter if other people mistakenly think you're a lesbian because you're cheering for a girl. Who cares? You don't need to worry about that. So anyway, the routine was nice and romantic. I'll confess, I can't remember what song it was that they skated to. But they got all 10s, which was amazing. And it was Kem and Alex's last night. Well, not Alex's, I've since found out. But it was Kem's last night on the tour. So it was good to be there for that. It was so funny. Bless her, cotton socks, to see Cheryl. She couldn't do very well, even when they were waiting. Because the first half of the show, the format was, or I didn't mention, the first half of the show was like reproducing a television show format, and the second half was just skating routines. And I'd already been told by somebody who had already gone to see the show that it was like this, so the second half was much better. But when, bless her, Cheryl was waiting to find out if she was going to do the bolero, it was just, she was constantly making a joke as if, can I go now? Can I go? Because it's not going to be me. She didn't look very confident. And then Dan came to skate her off. And on the subject of Dan Whiston, I did have a look at his page in the programme and found out, I mean, I know he'd been in Hot Ice shows, I'd heard that, but I had no idea when it said that Dan Whiston is, where is it now? I've lost the page. It said that basically he's born and raised in Blackpool. I didn't know. Here we go. Cheryl Baker and Dan Whiston. Dan Whiston, it says, born and raised in Blackpool, home of the entertainment extravaganza. Dan knows a thing or two about putting on a good show and has appeared widely in productions including The Royal Variety Performance, Holiday on Ice, The Hot Ice Show. When I read The Hot Ice Show in the programme, that was another amazing moment for me, sat there. I'm like, yay, they mentioned Hot Ice. So anyway, the show format was okay. I'm super glad Kem and Alex got to dance the bolero. That was amazing to see them do that. They didn't win it, which was a shame. I suppose Jake maybe did deserve it, but I was still really hoping that Alex and Kem would win, but they didn't. Anyway, Jake and Vanessa did. I did vote in the interval. When the interval came round, I did vote a lot for Kem, obviously, on the basis of him being with Alex. I voted for Kem to skate the bolero. In the interval, my phone, as we all know, is old and it struggles really with text, and well, that's not the problem. The problem is I top up every month to get a £10, and then it gives me a package, but there's actually no credit left from that. So anything that costs money I actually can't do. So I actually had to, in the interval, put the £10 on my phone, ring up Vodafone, top up, and then I could vote because I was so determined to vote. And obviously it paid off because he did skate the bolero. Anyway, in the interval, you saw all the merchandise being advertised, and I was thinking I'd really quite like a keyring actually and a t-shirt, but by this point it was felt long on in the interval. I didn't want to risk going to buy it and then miss some of the show, so I just didn't. So I was hoping that I would maybe get the chance to do it afterwards. The second half, I cannot describe just how blown away I was. I was simply blown away by the routines. It was crazy. Alex and Kem doing timber. Oh, before the bolero, I'll just mention, I did shout out, go Kem and Alex as well. So anyway, yes, Kem and Alex did timber. I was blown away by Lukasz and Alexandra Schauman. They're married, I think. That was the best routine I've ever seen in my life. I have to be honest. It was better than anything I've seen in Hot Ice. It was amazing just because of the moves you saw. The woman was like, the lady was like dropping really quickly and her head was going near the ice, and then it was the way she was being spun, the moves. I've never seen moves like that before in my life. And I mean, yes, they have a bigger rink, and it's not going to topple a Hot Ice show in my opinion, because Hot Ice is so close to my heart, as we all know, so dear to me is Hot Ice. So I wouldn't say I'd prefer to go to that show than Hot Ice, but that routine, that single routine from Lukasz and Alexandra was much better than anything I've ever seen in my life. It was amazing. It was so good. I was worried about annoying people around me, but I was whooping a lot in that routine just because I was like, it was so good. I couldn't help myself. Then there was also a part, not sure when this was actually, where Sylvain and Matt came out, Sylvain Longchamp and Matt Evers, and Matt was in red, Sylvain was in blue, and it was kind of, I think this might have been just before the show came on in the second half. It was kind of a cheering thing, who's the loudest, and even though I cheered very, very loud, enough to annoy people around me, apparently it was awarded to Matt's red side. And all that happened when this went on, all I was thinking was, oh, my mum quite likes Sylvain, but I kind of prefer Matt, so I'm a bit annoyed I was on Sylvain's side. But then he like ended up getting his whole top off, which I don't know, maybe there's a fault with me being a straight woman, but I've never been that bothered about seeing guys topless, to be honest. Anyway, so the lads routine, I like to move it, was hilarious. I loved it. I was so pumped by that point, just like so into the performance, so glad I spent the money. I was like, the money, who cares? This is an amazing show. Jake singing and also doing his performance was really moving. It was lovely. I was really nearly crying in one of them. I can't remember which. It might have been that, actually. It might have been that nearly moved me to tears. Brianne, Matt, and I think it was Dan did a routine where the guys were in the black lace and tops, and Brianne was in like a red sort of jumpsuit. That they were on fire in that routine. It was amazing. It was fantastic. Then all the pros did a routine in which you saw like leapfrogging. It was just sensational. Torval and Dean skated a number at some point. I'm not keeping this all in chronological order. I'm trying, but I know I'm going off. Which was brilliant. All I could think of was when I had last seen them at the Manchester Arena. My mum and her best friend who I went with were kind of saying, oh, they weren't that good. And I was like, well, yeah. And I think we were going, I think they're a bit past it. But I was very young. I can't remember how young, very young, maybe like 10 or something. And I remember saying, why are they called Torval and Dean? And my mum's best friend went, well, it'd be a bit boring if it was just, a bit more boring if they're just called Jane and Christopher. So Torval and Dean's a bit more sort of interesting. I thought, yeah, that makes sense. But they were actually really good. I really enjoyed seeing them skate. I don't know if it was the whole thing of just, you know, yeah, the years of advanced, but they can still do moves. He can still lift her. It was touching, it was moving. They told us that they were the first act ever on at the Manchester Arena when it was built, which I didn't know. So that was a nice piece of trivia to learn. Then as the end approached, wouldn't you know, she must have heard me or seen me at some point. Oh, Alexandra Murphy. I just saw her, she sort of looked at me and she was like, Gemma, and she came over and I kind of shook her hand, and then she pulled me in for a quick hug, and I was just so dazed by that. I remember thinking, oh, that's amazing. And in my head I'm thinking, did you all see that? Did you all see me hugging the skater? I know that's so bad. It's so bad to be like attention seeking and full of yourself and feel good just because somebody in a show recognised you, but I'm sorry, I'm just gonna be honest. It was a bit of a highlight for me. I was feeling like a boss walking out that arena, and some people were kind of looking at me. Oh, it's funny. And one girl after because obviously I had shouted out for Alex. I had said "You rock, Alex" before the first few times she skated with Kem, and I just heard a girl behind me saying, "I knew it." I knew it. Like maybe she just guessed that I kind of had seen Alexandra Murphy skate before, which obviously I have. Anyway, the next thing I was aware of, which was amazing, was the fact that the next person I was shaking the hand of was this man, Lukasz. So that was great because I was so impressed with the way he'd skated with his wife that I was just amazed. And then it was Mark Henretti that I am a big fan of, so that was great. I know I also shook Brianne's hand. And then I'm thinking maybe another male skater, but I can't think who. Maybe Sylvan, but maybe not. Maybe not. You know, sometimes I have weird memory lapses. But I remember when I shook the hand of Brianne and another male skater, I remember just kind of saying, you're amazing. I didn't say much to Alex. I don't think it was a bit of a blur. It was a bit of a, oh my goodness, this is really happening. She's hugging me in the Manchester Arena. How sad, I know. But then I was quite a while after that leaving the arena. I was doing my Facebook. Feel like a boss, Alex Murphy. Hug me at the Dance on Ice tour. Pathetic, but true. And then I was so long, I thought, oh, well, I was walking around and people were leaving. And then I walked past one of the merch stands and they were literally packing up all t-shirts and everything. And I just thought, no, Gemma, no, your night's been perfect. Try and keep it more perfect. You know, you want that t-shirt, you want that love skate relationship one. Well, aren't I wearing the love skate relationship t-shirt? I said, is it too late to buy a t-shirt? They said, no. I was like, I've only got my card, but they had card machines, so it was all good. The t-shirt was £20, which is a bit pricey, but considering I just wanted my experience to be amazing. So unfortunately, I asked for this t-shirt. They said they don't have them in small. They just have medium. This is a medium and it fits, thankfully. You should have seen when I said to the lad at the stall, I was like, I'm a UK 10, so what would that be? He's like, I have no idea, and asked this woman. Anyway, so it says, yeah, I'm in a love skate relationship. The Dancing on Ice, the live tour, and then on the back it just has the logo. Can you see that? Can you see it? I don't know how that'll turn out because until I watch this video back. Anyway, yeah, so I was just really happy that I'd got the t-shirt. Unfortunately, I didn't see any key rings at this point and I'd completely forgot about it. So maybe I'll be able to pick one up on eBay at a later date, who knows. But then going home was just a super easy journey. Managed to Victoria tram and then a bus. And I got home before midnight, which is amazing. Well before midnight, I think maybe about 11. And the show finished about 10 to 10. I was worried about it finishing quite late, but it wasn't. And I was just obviously on a high from everything that had happened and what a perfect experience it had been. Everything had worked out. I wasn't late. I'd seen Alexandra Murphy. I'd cheered when I wanted to. I've whooped. I had a great time. I did feel a bit bad about the fact I was shaking Skatey's hands and I had plasters on my hand, but it's a bit better than, you know, touching horrible, disgusting fingernails, isn't it, to be honest? And then I was feeling a bit weird. Stood in the the tram stop for my second tram home. I had to just wait for a little bit at the station to get the second tram, and I'm just thinking, I was stood there with these three lads, and one was kind of young, stood there with a rucksack. One had kind of helped me with saying, yeah, you're on the right platform, and he was stood there holding his pizza in a pizza box. Another was reading a book. I just remember being stood there and thinking, this feels weird. It's like 10:30 at night. I'm stood in this random stop with just like three random guys. Well, I mean, that is life, I suppose. But I ended up doing, have you ever done that? Have you ever done that? Have you ever done that game to yourself? Have you? Be honest. You know, that game where I know some people would do the usual version of, who would you know, usually you do this if you're with your friend. Who would you, out of those lads there, or those girls, if you're a guy, Who would you most like to... And I know people would say something else maybe, but obviously I would think in my version of the game, I'd be like, if I had to marry one of these right now, who would it be? And I remember just thinking, I know based on purely looks, it'd be the younger looking guy with a rucksack, who's very much into his phone. But the guy stood there actually reading an actual novel, a book novel like I would, because I like to have the physical book. He'd probably like fit me more. You know what I mean? Like, he'd probably be more suitable. These are the funny, strange, ridiculous things you end up thinking about when you're someone like me. Anyway, yeah, and I got home, and I even picked up the metro on the bus home, because I was thinking, I'm annoyed that I don't get the metro, because I don't take the bus on a Friday. But everything just worked out, basically. I had a fabulous, fabulous night. It was absolutely amazing. The skating standard was brilliant. I supported Alex Murphy. I think I found out that some people who were in the Hot Ice show, like skaters, I think I found out that they were also there on that night. I think so through the Twitter channel. So that's quite exciting. And yes, I'm just totally happy I went. Totally amazed that it all went so well. And grateful. And yeah, I think that's it. I tried not to be too excitable in this video. I apologise if it didn't make it. And it's very, very long. Anyway, I'm going to upload this now and just say good night.